coming. We'll start in the next 5 minutes. Let's wait about 5 to 7 minutes, then we start. Thank you for joining. Tell your other teammates in the group chat for them to join. Thank you. Bye.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
So hello everyone, welcome, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, from wherever that you are connecting to. Welcome to the second edition of Pan-African Youth Ambassador for Internet Governance training. Please,
Good afternoon,
if
sir.
you're not speaking, I'll urge you to mute your mic if you're not speaking. And let's so that other people can hear us. Today I have here with the Payaig team, Zainab and Saba. And so I'll hand over to Saba as she is going to be our moderator today, and Zainab will be our facilitator today. I acknowledge all the Payaig facilitators here, Wagashi, Goswe, and other team. Thank you very much for joining today, and we'll be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fifi. Hello, everyone. So I'd like to say welcome to day 2 of the Pan-African Youth Ambassadors for Internet Governance. And I hope yesterday you all had a good time, and hope you're getting an insight into the introduction about internet governance. Hope you also got the concept of how the internet work and the development history, and also you got insight into who the internet governance stakeholders are. And we also did some exercise in the breakout rooms listing some of the issues in internet governance, and also linking that into your own stakeholder and how you are going to overcome that specific challenge. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask any of us, any of the facilitators, specifically in the e-learning platform, and we would be happy to answer anything. So today we will delve into the module 2, which is going to be the global and African internet governance process, with our wonderful facilitator here with us, Zainab. And then we also have a breakout room discussion, which is going to be very interactive and very interesting, with a case study as well. So please stay tuned with us. And now I will hand it over to Zainab. Over to you, Zainab.
All right, thank you, Saba. Hello. Hello, everyone. Hello, people. Got to one day speak. Hello, everyone. Hello. So welcome back with us today. Yesterday was very interactive, and I would hope today too will be as interactive as it was yesterday. Um, Today we'll be discussing on global and African internet governance processes. So sharing my slides.
The voice is not heard. Can you make it louder?
Okay, you can hear me?
Zainab, it's okay now.
Okay. So I don't know if can you see my slide, please?
Yes.
It's still loaded.
Yes.
Or we can see it now.
We can see it now.
Yeah, you can, so you can put it in the presentation mode here.
Okay.
Okay, everything is fine now.
Okay. So today we're going to be understanding the processes of internet governance globally and in Africa, and then we're going to understand broadly the most stakeholder approaches to internet governance and learn how we're going to set up national IGS in various countries and regions. Not to take too much time talking because we want more of interactions than presentation. So, first of all, I would like us to understand what internet governance process is. Um, Internet governance process encompasses the framework, the systems that determine how the internet is managed, how it is regulated, whether globally or regionally. And the key success elements in internet governance processes relies on a decentralized, collaborative, and stakeholder approach like we discussed, which was discussed yesterday. And the internet governance is designed to maintain the internet as an open and trusted platform for innovation and empowerment. So the, for the internet to even be open and trusted, there is the need for that decentralized multi-stakeholder approach to internet governance processes. So on the issue of aspect of qualified internet governance processes, one of the key internet governance processes started from the TUMS agenda, where the working group on internet governance requested by the UN Secretary convened the Internet Governance Forum. And it was recommended that the working group on internet governance to establish internet governance for 2005. And the purpose is for a stakeholder platform that will ensure the participatory, inclusive, and democratic form of consensus building for ideas. Internet
Zainab,
hello?
sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt you. Yeah, apologies to interrupt you. Your voice is a bit lower.
Okay,
Has yeah.
let me increase the volume of my system. I reduce it earlier. Okay, so can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So as I mentioned earlier, the Internet Governance Forum is a multi-stakeholder forum that focuses on developing participatory and inclusive consensus building for Internet governance. The inclusive aspect of Internet governance emphasizes the bottom-up governance, unlike the traditional top-to-bottom governance approach in every of our governance. But in the Internet governance, it ensures a bottom-up approach where a set of stakeholders can work together to develop policy objectives and for frameworks that guide the Internet governance. This ensures inclusivity of everybody, not unlike the other forms of traditional governance, which is more of the top governance and then the people who have to listen or take orders from what the government has to say. So globally, internet governance processes ensures inclusivity. That's the main focus. It ensures inclusivity and democracy. When we talk about multi-stakeholderism and multilateralism, yesterday a lot of us discussed issues around multi-stakeholder approaches to internet governance. And the multi-stakeholder process involves open and accountable decisions, whether you are an individual or you are a representative. And it's widely adopted by democratic governance corporations and NGOs. Various stakeholder models are sometimes classified as representative. That if you're a member from a stakeholder category, or it's open where you are a self-selecting participant, that's an individual who wants to join. Although it's an unarguably a successful form of governance, but it does have its own criticisms. Because sometimes some people advocate for multilateral approaches. Multilateralism in the cases of maybe China and Russia, they advocate for multilateralism because they don't have they don't have the ability to to be inclusive. Their policies are not inclusive. They favor centralized regulations and stronger control by national government. So the limited participation in countries like that does not ensure multi-stakeholderism. But excuse me. So if you look at the current context of internet governance, multilateralism is not the case. Multi-stakeholderism is a major aspect of internet governance. So now let's look at the African internet governance processes. Like we mentioned earlier, the global internet governance started from the working group on internet governance, where they recommended that the internet governance forum be established. But in the case of Africa, it's the African Union Convention worked together with other stakeholders to draft the Africa IGF Charter that governs the African Multi-Stakeholder Internet Governance Forum and created a digital platform where knowledge management for best practices are discussed, policies are discussed, and internet governance methods are discussed. So in collaboration with the Association for Communications for Association for Progressive Communications, APC, over the last few years, African Union supported the organization of the African School of Internet Governance for young Africans to be trained on internet governance matters, and so that they can actively participate in internet governance forum processes. If I'm too fast, you can call my attention, please. So going deeper into the African internet governance processes, the African Union Convention coordinated with other African stakeholders during the Addis Ababa and Durban forums in 2017 and 2018 to develop the African Union Declaration on Internet Development of the Digital Economy in Africa. The declaration was adopted by the African Union Head of State and Government in January 2018. So the African Multi-Stakeholder Advisory Group, composed of 10 members that were created during the Egypt 2017 Africa IGF, that's the 6th Africa IGF 2017. And they are responsible for overall designing and implementation of Africa IGF's agenda. Although due to COVID-19, the 2018 edition of the IGF was hosted first time by Nigeria in September 2020. Additionally, all the 5 regions in Africa, that's the North Africa, the East Africa, the West Africa, Central Africa, and Southern Africa, they've all established their own regional forums and they are currently active. The complexity of the Africa Internet Governance Forum does not come without a challenge. There are challenges that, especially when you're considering its multi-stakeholder approach in defining issues, drafting policies and frameworks, and developing consensus. And the range of approaches that are being done to be able to mitigate those challenges. For example, one, the Internet Engineering Task Force, that's the IETF. It operates an innovative approach known as the rough consensus running code. It requires multiple implementations of any proposed standard to already be in operation before it is adopted formally. That's the Internet Engineering Task Force. And then we have the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, who structure the generic name supporting organization, VMSO, that manages policies affecting the generic top-level domains like the .com, the .org, the .biz, and the .africa. So the process of building consensus in the GNSO is very, very detailed and structured to allow any interested individual to participate at some level. But you have to be registered with the ICANN. That's, you have to go through the processes of ICANN studying, registration, and incorporation. So the way forward, like what are the way forward for Africa internet governance? There is the need for national IGF. That's one of the ways forward. The need for national IGF, although the regions all have their IG processes already set up and active, but each African country needs to set up their own national IGF to ensure an inclusive internet governance process, which would reflect the need and aspiration of every African citizen. And then there is the need for inclusiveness. Africa internet governance must reflect the aspirations of all the people that are in Africa, considering the multilingualism, the multisectoralism, and all that. And that's why Payaig was set up to ensure that all these inclusive approaches are being adopted. If you notice, this is an English cohort. There are other cohorts of the French, the Swahili, Portuguese cohorts. So all these are movements that are being made to ensure that internet governance in Africa is inclusive and adopted. So you are being trained now to be able to adopt building national ideas in your own respective countries. I was glad yesterday when Titi mentioned that Eritrea was part of the participants in the Payaig this year, which is actually encouraging to see that other countries, other African countries that are either marginalized or left behind in internet governance processes are being included now, that they are participatory and they are interacting in internet governance processes. So not to take too much of your time, we'll go straight into our, I don't know, before we go into our case study for discussion, if there is anybody that has any question for me so that we can discuss that.
Thank you very much, Zainab. Perhaps we can ask some interactive questions. I would like to start if there is anyone who attended any of the African or national African on Global IGF, please tell us in the chat, or if you have attended any of these IGFs, perhaps tell us how it went and what was your experience in just 3 minutes. Anyone? Okay.
Hello, Saba, can you come again with the question? Sorry.
Okay, so I was saying if there is anyone who attended the African IGF or the global IGF in the last years, you can put them in the chat here. If specifically, like if you have attended the Kyoto IGF or if you have attended the African IGF last year, and if you have any specific experience or lessons learned that you would like to share here with us, please do so. I see Mishek has raised his hand, but I don't see him now. But if you'd like to speak, Mishek, please go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Good afternoon. I just wanted to respond to your question to say I have attended one, though it was online, but it was very interesting considering the topics that we're covering. And I think it was also a period where we were talking about innovations and how AI is influencing our current lives, and it's something that has come to life now. So it was very exciting. Thank you.
All right, thank you for sharing that. And someone in the chat also stated that he stated he attended the Africa IGF that was organized in Nigeria last year. Very good. Any other fellows? Or if not, we can move into the next questions. Or if then will have any questions to ask them, please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay, my name is Aaron Promise Mba. I'm from Nigeria. So I attended the Africa Internet Governance Forum last year that was hosted in Nigeria. That was in September. And I think one of the major highlights for me was the different sessions, right? I think major focus was on empowering inclusion and security and innovation, looking at the Africa's digital landscape. It was like the introduction for me, right? In the IDF process, because after that I got to know about the Internet Society, and then started participating in their activities, and was also selected as an ambassador for the Internet Society. So, and I've been able to attend some other IGF process like the WISIS, the APRI IGF, and all of that this year because of that particular, introduction I had. So it was really engaging for me. I attended sessions on digital inclusion and cybersecurity and all of that, and I met a lot of people. I also was able to connect with the Paradigm Initiative and some of their works that they were doing and the Londa reports that they had. And so far, it's been very, eye-opening for me. And I also hope to attend the Africa IGF this year and also the Global IGF. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Aaron, for sharing that. That's very excellent. Anyone who would like to share, it can be virtual or anything. Okay. We have here question, Zainab, in the chat. How were the 10 members of the African MAG team selected in 2017? How often do they organize the Internet Governance Forum globally in Africa? Over to you, Zainab.
All right. So, like I mentioned earlier, it's a multi-stakeholder approach. People from the business sector, people from the government, people from the civil society organizations come together. It was initially discussed at the Global Internet Governance Forum, and then where it was discussed and agreed to establish a digital platform for Africa, for Africa Internet, so that Africans can come together and their own internet. And that was where the multi-advisory group that then were selected from each of these working groups that were mentioned earlier. So Africa Internet Governance Forum is held annually, and each country is represented in the multi-stakeholder group where they discuss and it is decided which country is going to be held. Both the global and Africa Internet Governance Forum are held annually, and it's discussed during the multi-stakeholder meetings. You even as individuals, you can still participate in the multi-stakeholder meetings where it's open. They publish it, it's announced, and you can register to participate so that you can listen to how these processes are being, how these decisions are being made, how the process takes. Like particularly, I've joined the annual Internet Governance multi-stakeholder meetings on 2 different years, and I've joined that of the Nigeria Internet Governance Forum last year, and this year I'm also joining the multi-stakeholder meetings so that I would listen to how all these processes are made. So if you are active in the internet governance space, you will get to find out about all these things, especially if you have participated in any of the internet governance forums or the school on internet governance. When there are openings on area West Africa internet governance, East Africa, depending on your region, you join the school, you register to participate in the school, and then if you're selected, if you're shortlisted, you can be sponsored to on-site trainings. If not, you can join the online trainings, which it's practically the same process of training that it's just the difference is just that some are going to be on-site while some are going to be off-site. So when you join such trainings, you learn a lot of things about the internet governance, and then you see opportunities where you can join other internet governance processes and be part of the internet governance multi-stakeholder group.
Thank you very much, Zainab. So I would like to ask you as well, just one question before we move into our breakout room session. Well, speaking of the different IGF initiatives, could any one of you please specify any national IGF or any youth IGF initiative that you are aware of, or if you are already part of any initiatives, please specify them in the chat here, or I see hands raised already. Rahama. I'm not sure if I spelled your name correctly, but please go ahead.
It's Rahima actually, and I wanted to talk about the Nigerian Youth Internet Governance Forum here in Nigeria. I'm a member of the steering committee, and we organize events every year. We organized one last year. We're organizing this one an event this year as well. So Nigeria is definitely has a youth organization for internet governance.
Thank you so much, Rahman, for sharing that. Anyone else?
Okay, I think there's a question on the chat.
Okay, is there someone we can check out for more details about Africa MAC?
Okay, yeah, you can actually, it's not a step you need to do as our fellows of the internet governance issues is to register with the Internet Society of your respective countries. When you register with the Internet Society as a member, you get a lot of information through the Internet Society because most of these Internet governance forums are being championed by the members of the Internet Society and of their respective of the respective region. So when you join the country chapter of your internet society, which you get firsthand information about most of these things. You join a working group. There are different working groups in the internet society of every chapter of every country. So when you join, you get firsthand information about things. They send mails, they have groups, they send updates every now and then. So I think just being involved in the internet society will give you firsthand information about a lot of things that you need to know.
Thank you so much, Zainab. Rahman, I see your hands raised, but I'm not sure if that's an old or a new hand. All
I
right.
forgot to write before. Thank you.
Okay, so I see, Zainab, I see some answers in the chat here saying that Mishek is part of the Internet Society Zambian chapter and that he attended most of the events organized. And someone here in the chat is also asking to share the link for registering to the Internet Society. All right, we will share that definitely. And Hassan is also saying that he's from Sierra Leone and yeah, okay. Thank you, Hassan. And Blessing is asking, how can we be members and part of IGF in our countries?
Okay, Blessing, I've explained that earlier on. You can participate, especially starting with studying about internet governance, joining the schools on internet governance for your respective regions. Which I don't know which country you're from, but whether you're from either North Africa, Central Africa, East Africa, they all have schools on that teaches something like this we're doing in Payaig on internet governance. So that from that way you start by participating. When you participate, and then you'll be able to make contributions. Gradually, you get involved.
Yes, indeed, Zainab, that's very true. And perhaps if Fifi can also share the link to the different IGF use and national IGF initiatives or regional initiatives, which is up in the IGF website. Fifi, can you share the link so that anyone interested can see the names who is a coordinator and reach out and then be a member and participate in those different events. I'm not sure what the name is, but Zoom user. If you can rename it with your name, that would be great, but please go ahead.
Oh, sorry, it's Abby. I don't know. This Zoom keeps on changing my name. I think I'll change it again. I just wanted to add when it comes to now the Internet Society chapters. So when you go, when the link that you're going to share is like you register, but you have to be approved by now the secretariat in your country. Yes, so I think also they need to just that pointer, because they might say their country chapter and it takes a while because you need to be approved. So they also need to find out who is responsible for that their chapter in their country, so that they can say, no, I did apply, can you also approve? Because if they don't know, they will wait for approval that will not come. Just a
Yeah,
point.
thank you for that addition. Yes, that's true. You need to wait for approval, and sometimes they will have to make some background checks before they do approve you. So we'll share all the links before the end of today's sessions to all the internet governance chapter. I'm sure people is close by. Godfrey has responded on the chat. He will send the link before the. I see two other people raise their hands. Sabah.
Yes, but Blessed.
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
So I was asking about the Tanzanian chapter because I tried to follow up on the chapter. The last time I heard of it was in 2020 when I was in high school, so I could not participate. But then I tried to look up if there were any events coming up or any meetings, and I found nothing. Even on the Instagram page, I did not see anything new. So I was like asking, is it still live in Tanzania? Thank you.
So one thing I would like to add is that sometimes the Internet Society
Saba,
Yes.
Saba,
is someone speaking?
this is Alembe from
All right.
Tanzania.
Okay,
Yeah,
Alan, please.
yes,
Yes, please go
yes.
ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, we have an Internet Governance Forum, and we just did it like last week. Yeah, I think as it said, you know, in order to be a member with a specific country, you have to be the member from the global perspective first. Then you just select the chapter. But yeah, there is some of the delay on making sure Internet Governance Forum and Internet Society Tanzania. I know there is some of delay in the publications and social media management, but the event is going on and people are just doing the great job. I think it will be better if we share the link so people can just join in a global, and then they can choose the chapter according to the country they are living. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alambe. Yes, indeed. Millennia, our co-facilitator as well, is also part of the Tanzanian Youth IGF. And I know Nazar, who is one of the organizer for the Tanzanian IGF. So we will, if you would like to be part of these initiatives in your country, definitely we will get you in contact with. I see, yeah, two hands raised. Abu Bakr and then Fifi, or Fifi first, and then we will go ahead to Abu Bakr.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Let me address it. I think and
Okay, I think we lost Fifi.
Yeah.
Connection is not stable. Fifi, can you hear us?
Today.
Fifi, your connection is not stable.
Much. It's a global organization. The global. The global will give you access to it. Hello.
I think
Can you hear me?
No.
Versus, yeah, you were breaking,
Wow.
Fifi.
Hello, can you
Yes,
hear me?
you were breaking, Fifi. Perhaps we will get back to you later.
Yeah,
I will
I
now
can
go
hear
back
you,
to
Saba.
to
Is it
Abu
okay?
Bakr.
I think if he has some misconnection.
Yes, Abu Bakr, please go ahead. Abu Bakr, you have the floor. Can you hear me? Abubakar, can you hear me? Okay. Let me read some comments in the chat. I see Hassan is asking if the Sierra Leone is having an Internet Society chapter. Please, we will share all these links in the discussion part on the learning platform after the end of this session. As Zainab said earlier, we'll make sure to put all the links to the learning platform. So please keep
Hello.
an eye on that. Yes, Abubakar,
Hello.
we can hear you
Hello.
now.
Hello. Hello. Okay. Thank you very much, Saba, for this opportunity. I want to share some ideas or some initiatives that Ethiopia took on internet governance aspect. So Ethiopia approach to the internet governance shaped by its unique socio-political landscape because Ethiopia has, that is the Horn of Africa, large population, and also a large number of rural area population, and they have different infrastructure development, regulatory frameworks also done in by the government and also by the stakeholders, and also digital inclusion. Ethiopia is a digital age now. The Ethio Telecom and other governance organizations start smart city projects and also digital technological advancement for the digital inclusion of all the society or marginalized or vulnerable communities also. And also there are national digital strategy frameworks. I think they are adopted in 2018 on the different digital economy, enhanced e-governance, also on e-commerce and etc. So there are different strategies for frameworks, initiatives that took Ethiopia on the last 6 years. It was the magnificent steps towards to internet governance, also a main role on facilitating, on protecting or giving protocol for this involvement. And also in my MA degree, I do on digital and cyber diplomacy aspect. We know that cyberspace is the fourth outer space because in the last time we know that air, water, and territorial integrity of the state is the three more common sovereignty of the state. Now, outer space like cyberspace, cyber technologies must be implemented and governed well because there are no bridges on the cyberspace. We know territorial integrity or territorial sovereignty may be protected by soldiers or government military personnel. But when you think about cyber, it's all about all international communities, citizens, and also IGOs, NGOs, multinational corporations. All we use this cyber technology or cyber fiber space to transfer data and to engage on day-to-day activity on this globalization world. So engaging on such kinds of forum, internet governance forum is a must to the country and also the organizations, not only on the country, organizations that uses different technology to facilitate their trade, to facilitate their economic advancement beside the government. So there are non-state actors and state actors involved on such. So there must have to be a written document, a written governance forum, a written governing body that facilitates the smooth interaction between those entities. So it's a must to have such kind of initiatives, such kind of forum in the world. So I want to ask about if the participant or the coordinator must be answered that in regarding to Ethiopia is that how about Ethiopia and IGF? Last time, I think 3 years or 4 years back, I don't know the exact date, Ethiopia assembled such kind of forums, internet governance forum on that aspect. So please tell us about this how Ethiopian internet governance forum works well in hand with hand on different aspects. So this is all about mine aspects and ideas. If other things, I will get back to you soon. Thank you very much, Sabah.
Thank you very much, Abubakar, for that very detailed clarification. It's very interesting that you raised about the digital transformation strategy and also the IGF 2022, the global IGF 2022, which he took which took place in Addis 2 years ago. So yeah, of course, just to let you know about the Ethiopian IGF, it is going to take place ahead of the Africa IGF on November 19. The process is still going. Yeah, me as someone who is also part of the steering committee or the organizing committee, we're taking the part in like the process and stepping ahead into the preparation of the main topic and the sub team as well. So please take a look or on the website. I will share with you the website. Please message me on the e-learning platform so that I will link you to all the social media platforms and to all the informations about the upcoming Ethiopian IGF as well, so that you can be part of the whole event. I will
Yeah,
give the floor
thank you, Sabi.
to
One
Payaig.
question, only one question. Saba, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, one question. I don't get to log into the platform. It says that it's error on my password. So I message many emails for the colleagues of you, but I didn't get a reply. I don't know because of what, but I didn't access to those platforms, e-learning platform. So if anyone can help me, my name is Abubakar Samman, and I send my email through this message chat box, and you can send me how can I reset my password, because the
Thank
reset is not
you.
also working for me. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Abubakar, for raising that. Our wonderful IT team is here with us, God's perhaps. Yeah, you can get a chat with God's so he can lead you how to resolve that issue.
Thank you very
Uh,
much.
Ma'am,
yes,
excuse
you're
me.
welcome. Fifi, you have the floor.
Ma'am,
Okay. All right. Thank you. So we'll be moving to breakout, and then when we come, we'll do the question. But I want to address this. As Saba has been leading Ethiopia in terms of the youth IGF and other processes. So it's good that at least we have this conversation. And one thing I want you to know is that the ecosystem of the stakeholder, it's linked with one another. So if you're able to get connected to ISOC, you will see that all the events related to internet governance comes in there. ICANN also comes in there. So it is a multi-stakeholder approach that all these are linked together. Now, people who want to get in terms of the local societies, in terms of the internet society in their local chapters in their country, find someone that you know who is a member of that chapter and tell the person, oh, you have registered online, you've requested a membership. So the person can go, some have local WhatsApp groups. So the person can tell the administrator to normally, for Ghana, I do the approval sum with my president. So sometimes people get the request, then we just want. So you can contact your friends that you know they are in internet society. Then they will help you to connect with you with their local WhatsApp group before you even get that approval. That one, it helps you. So they put information about everything happening in the ecosystem in terms of internet governance, internet safety, cyber diplomacy, ICANN, and other fellowship information in there. So this is a very connected platform. But you see people who are in IGF who will be the same people in internet society, who will be the same people in ICANN, who will be the same people in WISIS, or all over the other groups. So it's a very linked and connected. And once we are getting in, we'll try as much as possible to share you with a link. And also I want to highlight that the e-learning, we sent an email. When we send an email, please try as much as possible to check your email every day so that you can act. Because some of the password that we send have an expiry on it. But read your email very well. The problem is that we don't read. Read the email very well. Everybody, even without resetting password, you can be able to log into your account because the account has a default password and your email and username. Try that as much as possible that you read all the information in the email that we send, because everyone, we are not having much challenges in terms of the e-learning. But if you are getting challenged, mean that you haven't read it well. So read the information very well. Then we have also a lot of emails coming up. So we normally get emails that we need to respond each and every. So if we haven't responded to your mail, just forgive. But you can also use the chat feature on the e-learning. We'll be connecting it very soon to all the facilitated, and they can help you. But try as much as possible to read very well because the email that we sent, we didn't want people to come back to reset password because we have many. That's why we make it specific that you can log in irrespective of how much or how best your related account must be. So Godsway will be supporting you for that. And also, let me highlight this. Today's breakout rooms is designed into 5: academia, civil society, and then how do you call it? Business and technical community. Now, today we are trying to give you access that you will be able to choose whatever how do you call it? Whatever group that you want. So that is what we want to do today. So we are going to open the breakout rooms. Then you have the case studies already, but you'll be like, I have projected the case study online that you will see this is the case study. Then some of the facilitators will join you in the various sites. But what you're going to do is that you can choose the breakout rooms that you want. And I can see that we have other people here that they are also connected to the various IGF, like Wangashi is on the Kenyan IGF side, Gosway is on the Ghana IGF. They are all involved. Like I see former fellow to Behanu is also a Payaig fellow, and he's also connected to the youth IGF in Ethiopia. So once we come back, we can raise our concern and we'll be able to support it. So this is the case study for today that we are going to talk about. And let me open it back for you to get access. So the case study that we have today is going to tell us the multi-stakeholder of the IGF dialogue. And we have the discussion guide, what role in setting up national IGF. So the government, the academia, the technical community, international organization. So instead of the like we have the government, we have the civil society, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, but we are limiting it to 5. So the 5 groups will open. So I have opened the breakout rooms now, and you can join. Then we can have that discussion in there. But when you check on the e-learning, people will be able to bring out the case study question. Saba and Zainab, I hope my questions and clarifications are clear on your end.
Yeah, thank you. Ben.
Okay,
Thank
so
you, Fifi.
Aaron, yeah. Aaron,
Yes, sorry, please, I want to know why we're not including the international organization on the as one of the stakeholder groups.
okay, so normally we want to include that, but because of the number and the time limitations, that's why when you check, when Zainab and Saba are speaking, they also talk on the international perspective from our side, so we can give highlights on the international perspective for everyone to get involved. But the most aspect is that all of us might belong to the 5 stakeholder groups that we have. International organizations are based on the regional, the global, and the sub-regionals, which is fine. Like ECOWAS, African Union, UNECA, UN, ICANN, these are all GIZ and other stuff. These are all international and organizations. But we will just give out the ideas of their rules and perspective from our lecture and presentation. But we want us to be involved in everything, because there are some people we have limited people who might be in the international organization, but we discuss those kind of their rules in the main sections and main discussion. But we don't want to limit people. That is why we've limited to 5, so that we can have at least numbers who will be well presented and have discussion towards this. Because when we come to our various nationals, these are the various nationals that we want to bring it to the national perspective, local perspective, so that we can have conversation that sits from the local aspect. But the international is something that is being done, framework discussion, that we can bring it into our discussion. I hope I have answered it well.
Yeah, I understand. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I have shared the breakout rooms because people want to join whatever room that they want. Please do and join. I don't want to move you, so it will come on your screen. Try it as much as possible that you will join. Then the facilitators will also choose groups that they want to join and assist. So how does that? Nobody have joined government. Like if you want me to also be moving you to the groups, that will be fine. So try as much as possible to join the breakout rooms. Like, and the problem is that when we open the breakout rooms, joining becomes difficult for people. But when we pre-assign, it's fine. Automatically, everybody will be moved to that. But we have about 25 minutes for discussion. Then we'll come back and complete in the next 25 minutes too.
Thank you, Fifi. So I would
Right.
like to reiterate Fifi's idea as well. Please try to join the breakout rooms and try to join any of the stakeholders that you have a background on, like that you are working on. I see a few numbers in the business and private sector.
Yeah.
And the government as well. And a lot of people haven't joined yet. Please,
Yes.
if you haven't, if you are not joining on time, we may assign you to any of the stakeholder groups. So
Yes.
please,
So yeah. So if you have not joined, then I'll be moving people to the various groups myself.
you can see a breakout room like requesting you to join the breakout rooms in your screen. I see the question in the chat, where is the link to join? So you can see on your screen asking you to join the rooms. Okay.
So of course we are moving to academia.
Hello, everyone. So I hope all of us are back now from the breakout room. Right? Or do we still have people in the breakout room?
No, for now, all breakfast rooms are closed, so I'm sure by now.
I think, yeah.
Thank you so much. All
Like, the
right.
breakout rooms is closed. Everyone should be here.
Okay. Okay, Fifi. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think all of you had a very good discussion in the breakout rooms. So now we will be presenting here what the topics on what you discussed. So we will be starting from the government stakeholder group. So you have like 5 minutes, and as we did yesterday, we will be having one male and one female presenter. So it will be up to you to allocate the 5 minutes between the two of you. So from the government stakeholder, we have Beatrice and Abdul. Please, you have the floor, Beatrice or Abdul.
Okay, I think I'll start with the government. I'll speak for like 2 or 3 minutes and my partner will take off. So on the government, we discussed a few points that are necessary to ensure that the Internet Governance Forum is very inclusive. The first point that we discussed was the government being responsible for providing policies and regulations in supporting the internet governance. So these policies should be centered on issues like cybersecurity, data protection, digital rights, and internet access. And the government must consider behind, and that their policies are aligning with the national and international standards. The government is also responsible for setting up the necessary policies and regulatory frameworks to ensure that everyone is being included. The other point that we talked about is the government being responsible for mobilizing financial and technical resources, which can include things like considering the internet governance when they're doing the national budgets or partnering with other international organizations that are interested in similar work. They can also provide technical resources such as infrastructure and promoting access to internet nationwide by working with, for example, telecom providers to ensure that internet access is accessible, not just in urban areas, but in rural areas as well. We also discussed that the government may have different ministries or organizations that are also working on internet governance. For example, if it's in Southern Africa, we have the SADC, where if one country is interested in internet governance, they can also collaborate with other countries doing similar work for better coverage in the IGF. So maybe if I'm leaving out anything, those are the main points. I think my partner can take over from there.
Thank you, Beatrice. Abdul, you can go ahead, please. Abdul, can you hear me?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, sorry about the background noise. It's a bit raining here. So in our group for the business and private sector, we actually discussed a couple of things. And the first one that we discussed was actually providing financial resources. We concluded that the private sector can use its profits to be able to support startups and other civil service organizations that can help to spearhead idea programs that would help in the long run to bring about awareness creation. We also discussed about the private sector using its massive data to be able to address IGF issues such as connectivity, security, and also open access for everyone. by making sure that state
Hello?
government, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Abdul. I think like there are two Abdul. You are from the business sector, right?
Yes, business sector. Or it was meant to be a different team.
Okay. Okay, so I was referring to the other Abdul from the
Oh, I'm
government
so sorry. I'm
stakeholder
so
group,
sorry.
but
Let me mute
it's
them.
fine. No, it's fine. It's totally fine. Please go ahead.
Okay.
So we come into the business sector. Yeah,
Saba.
continue. Yeah.
Okay, let him continue. I went off because of network, but if the other stakeholders come in, I think we should allow them. Or I
Okay,
had a
thank you.
network issue.
Thank you so much, Abdul. You
All right.
can just put the key takeaways from the government stakeholder, what we discussed in the chat.
All right.
That's totally fine.
Okay.
Abdul from the business sector, please continue.
I can hardly hear you.
And
Are
yes,
you muted?
before you, yes, can I kindly ask Fifi to share the timer on the screen like we did yesterday? Fifi, if you can share the timer on the screen, that would be great. But please, Abdul, continue. Thank you. Abdul Malik, please continue.
I can actually assist since we are co-presenting, if it's not. So one of the key areas that we identified on the contributions of the private sector. So we mentioned where the private sectors will come together with different companies to actually bring up the national IGF, and which in return will also help to showcase their business ideas, and also which will also remove the burden for their government. And also this also enables also the business sectors to actually identify innovative youth, whereby they tend to also offer grants to these innovators, and also to see how to support the civil societies in order for them to do their advocacy on digital inclusion. And we also identified that also when the business sectors also contribute to this area, sometimes depending on a country, some government tend to actually relieve them from tax. And one of the examples that we did in Namibia, we concluded the ICT summit, whereby now long-standing private sectors who have been actually helping to contribute to these summits and conferences for the national IGF, they were actually given awards for their long-standing contribution without actually waiving out. And we also go to see like different ideas where also on how the private sectors also get now to also benefit from this, is whereby now when their businesses are showcased, we get to have a lot of users who can use the different platforms. Is my co-presenter there? Do you want to also add something? Excuse. All right. So sorry. And now in terms of where we are also lobbying for policy change through our regional governance and agencies, whereby also now most of the time you find policies are mostly made favoring civil societies or just the government, and whereby the private sectors have a little to say. But nowadays the private sectors have more to say. And also an example was also how to embrace the artificial intelligence that is coming in, that has been coming in, and a lot of there's been a lot of debate. We should allow, we shouldn't. So we are also trying to also give the advantages of having artificial intelligence and how it can help. It's not meant to just make people lazy, but it can help us because it just works on predictivity. So the private sector really is one of the important to say, also, not I'm saying the others are not important, but in terms to bring up conferences, even where you have even the global ideas, it's the private sector that needs to pump in money. And also it also helps us to make sure that all the youth and all the innovators are given an opportunity to give us new ideas. So we play a very important role in in one of the vital role as much as sometimes we are not recognized.
Thank you very much, Abia, for sharing the role of the private sector in setting up the IGF event, as well as what the role is in the internet governance stakeholder. Thank you so much for that. The next one is in line civil society, and from the civil society we do have I'm not sure if I spell your name correctly. Apologies in advance. Urias,
Yes, ma'am.
please go ahead.
Okay, good day, everyone. I'm Urias Kemo from West Africa, Liberia, and I'm here to represent the civil society group. And as we all know, basically the IGF is a multi-stakeholder platform that brings together diverse groups such as governments, civil society, academia, the private sector, and technical communities to discuss what? Internet governance issue. And civil society plays a very crucial role in ensuring that the process is inclusive and that the diverse voices, especially from marginalized groups, are heard. So our focus here will actually be on the civil society organizations. How can they engage with the government and other stakeholders to ensure that the national IGF in Africa is inclusive and representative? So the first finding that we got, the role in setting up IGF as a civil society organization or group is like breaching the digital divide. Civil society role is to ensure inclusivity, like that every group, be it visually impaired, be it the cripple, be it the child, be it the older one, we should make sure as a civil society group to include everyone. So as a civil society group, we act as the voice of the marginalized and undeserved community, including rural populations, women, youth, and people with disabilities. So they can ensure that these groups are included in IGF discussion by facilitating local consultation, collecting data, and representing their concerns at the IGF. So like consultation is one portion, and another portion is raising awareness on internet issue. So before I dive deeper, I will share my experience from my country, Liberia, before coming outside for some program. Like I alone was actually operating as a civil society group because I had my peers who didn't have much much idea about the internet, who were very vulnerable to cyber crimes. So I took on the initiative to educate them how to set up two-factor verification from Google, so that if anyone tries logging into your Google account, you will get a notification and you have to confirm before that person can log into your account. I will give a scenario of a friend and myself, how my Facebook, my official Facebook, almost got hacked. If I never had like idea about the internet, I got a message from my friend that her password, her account got some issues, so I needed to send her a code. When I sent that code, I actually got a message that someone is trying to log into my account. God could have it, I had a two-factor verification. So these are important awareness and experiences that we should share as a social security or civil society with people who do not have ideas. So once we have the experience, we should be able to raise awareness. Like many communities are unaware actually of the impact of internet policies on their lives. Civil society can run awareness campaigns, yes, and workshop like trainings to educate people who don't have idea on digital rights, digital policy, and access to information. Information should actually be free to everyone because in journalism, there is something called the public right to know.
We lost you.
For this? Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you now. We lost you a bit.
Okay. Like the second role of the civil society organization is engaging with the government and other stakeholders. So actually, civil society organization must work collaboratively with government, the private sector, technical communities, and academia to ensure that everyone is being included. Everyone is being included in internet governance, like engaging with the community. We, as a civil society organization, we should be able to advocate for inclusive policy design. Since we cannot implement the policy, it is our work to advocate for it and take it to the to the attention of the government so the government can look into it. Civil society organizations can advocate for inclusive internet governance policies that reflect the needs of marginalized populations, as we all know. And this can be done by participating in policy dialogues. As civil society organization, we should not sit back and allow the government and allow the public sector and other people to make decisions for us. We should also be there to dialogue, to push our point, to represent the marginalized communities, people with disabilities. We should also be there to dialogue. And we should
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Ures. You're out of time. That's why I had to interrupt you, but that's a very good point. Thanks a lot for summarizing that point. Well done. Now I will move into the third stakeholder, which is the academia. And for academia, we have Rahman and Martin presenting what they discussed in the breakout room. So I will give the floor to Rahman or Martin. You have the floor. Rahman or Martin, can you hear me?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Martin,
Yes,
we cannot
Martin
hear you.
here.
I see you are muted, but we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. So my name is Martin from Zambia, and today I'll just briefly discuss on how research and academia can support the development of. First and foremost, within the academic sector, mostly main developing countries, there's an imbalance in access to internet and technology between rural and urban schools, universities, and research institutions. So the research here will focus on how internet governance can bridge this gap and ensure equitable access to global academic networks and resources. Firstly, there's need to investigate on how current internet governance policies impact educational institutions. So these policies can affect research collaboration, online learning, and regional regulations, especially around digital infrastructure, data privacy, cybersecurity, and digital rights. We can help shape the policies that foster a more inclusive and secure academic environment. The other thing is mostly in rural and urban schools. So the research can focus on how internet governance can bridge the gap and ensure equitable access to global academic networks and resources. And the other one can also focus on investigating on how current internet governance and policies in the educational sector as well. I don't know if my co-presenter is ready to share the other points.
Thank you very much, Martin. Rahman, would you like to add something on this?
Hi, sorry, I was already speaking. I didn't know that I was still muted. I was saying I got logged out of the meeting earlier. I'm not sure why, but yes, I do have some things to add. Some of the major points that we brought together was that academians can investigate data protection and cybersecurity regulations to find out gaps. There can also be policy analysis of existing IGF policies and frameworks, both locally and internationally. Stakeholder mapping can also be carried out to understand interests, influences, and potential contributions of each stakeholder sector. There should also be a developing of a curricular or training programs to build capacity of individuals in matters relating to internet governance. Then there can also be studies conducted on the impact of having national IGFs in countries where multi-stakeholderism has been employed. So we would study countries who have employed national IGFs in their countries, what they did, the impact that it had, and we can use that to facilitate papers or research works that can be used by government or private stakeholders to employ national IGFs in relevant countries. Then there can also be studying of the digital divide within the academic sector, focusing on equitable access to internet and technology in rural and urban areas. Then there should also be research into the role of internet governance in bridging this divide, especially in developing countries. Then there should also be interdisciplinary approaches that combines insights from law, technology, sociology, and economics to create a holistic understanding of the internet governance challenges. And this will lead to a creation of more comprehensive solutions that can address the multifaceted nature of internet issues. So these are the suggestions that we came up with in the academia group. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Martin and Rahman. Those are very interesting points indeed. Thanks again for sharing. I will go to the technical community now, which is going to be our last stakeholder group to present the discussion here. So from the technical team, Aaron and Tay, please, you have the floor to present.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Tay Sarah connecting from Ghana, and we are the technical community. How can a technical community ensure that the national IGF is technically sound and meets the needs of the Africa internet community? So these are some of the points we have concluded and listed down. So this is to involve technical experts, to engage ISP, network operators, community and cyber experts and other tech professionals in the planning and organizing committees to provide diverse technical input that can ensure us having a sound and meeting the need of the African international internet community needs. Also, to ensure reliable infrastructure, the technical community provide high-speed internet and technical support for both in-person and virtual participants all over the world. Also, promoting capacity building. This is to organize workshops and training on internet technologies and governance, basically on the youth and the gender inclusion. So we also have facilitating effective communication. We also set a clear agenda to encourage open discussion and to use tools like our online polls to gather feedback that can help us make the sound and meet the needs of the African internet community. So I'll leave and then allow my colleague to continue from here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sarah, for that. So my name is Aaron Promise Mba from Nigeria. So from the technical community, to add to what my colleague Sarah mentioned, we all know that the technical community plays a very crucial role in shaping and supporting the development of national internet IGFs, right? So our expertise ensures that discussions around internet policy and governance are informed by sound technical knowledge, and also that infrastructure and operational aspects of the internet are well represented, right? So you cannot underestimate the role that the technical community plays in the IGF space. So to add to what she said, we provide technical expertise and advisory support. Our knowledge on internet infrastructure standards and protocols help inform policy decisions and national IGF. So our insights on decisions, we ensure that the insights decisions that are made by different stakeholders are technically feasible and they align with standard. So we also contribute to agenda setting, right? We identify key issues that are related to cybersecurity, DNS, and IP addressing, and other infrastructure-related topics, and that those topics are included in the national IGF agenda. Also, issues on emerging technology, artificial intelligence, 5G, Internet of Things, and blockchain. So we ensure that they are considered in policy and governance framework. Then also to iterate, capacity building is very important because we have the expertise. We provide training and capacity building program for both the government officials, the civil society, even the private sector participants at national IGF. We ensure that non-technical stakeholders, that they understand the key technical issues like internet standard, network architecture, and cybersecurity protocols. So by our involvement in the IGF process, we ensure that those people have in-depth understanding of those areas. Another is supporting local innovation and technical development. So we encourage and support the development of local solutions to technical challenges like network design and digital infrastructure so that we can meet the national context. For time, we also promote internet access and inclusion. I think Sarah also mentioned that inclusivity in design. So we ensure that technical solutions that are developed and discussed in IGF are inclusive in nature. So they cater for all communities, marginalized groups, people with disability, and it can be accessible to all persons, and also provide data and research and all of that. So this is some of the things we were able to identify. That the technical community is plays a very fundamental role even in the internet governance, ecosystem. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tay and Aaron, for presenting us about what the role of technical community is in part of setting up the Internet Governance Forum, or in organizing the annual forum as well. Yes. So yeah, I mean, I think we have completed all the stakeholder groups. So thank you so much to all of you for your presentation. And those are, as I've said, those are very valid points. And talking about the role of how each stakeholder groups play in internet governance as well. So I will just say a few words about the international organization and then give the floor to Zainab to say a few words on it. And if you have any questions, I think due to the time you have, please, you can just feel free to put them in the e-learning platform and we will address them. So about the international organizations, first of all, they do facilitate knowledge sharing. For example, they can disseminate the best practices from various countries, helping the local as well as the national IGFs to learn from each other experiences. And they also often produce research and policy reports that can provide insights into the global trends and issues in internet governance, or specifically on internet governance issue, let's say in AI governance or similar topics. And secondly, they do facilitate the capacity building programs, training programs. They can offer training opportunities to enhance and to improve the skills and knowledge of local stakeholder groups. And also they ensure that they can effectively participate in IGF as well. And some of them can also provide technical support to help IGFs develop their frameworks and processes as well. And as an example, we can take the ITU, International Telecommunication Union, on this. Yeah, and they do also have they do take part in the policy advocacy part as well. They advocate for policies that really reflect the needs and concerns of local stakeholders, and also play a very important role in developing those global standards and the guidelines that can be adopted at the local and national levels. And if you have heard of the UNESCO AI governance framework, yeah, that's one of the example as well. So these are just a few of my points, but due to the time we have, perhaps I can hand it over to Zainab to just say a few words or about this and about the discussions we had from the breakout room. And then I will give the floor to Fifi to close this session. So Zainab, please, you have the floor.
All right, thank you, Saba. That was a wonderful interaction, everyone. I'm really glad we had this today. So I don't really have much to add. The session was interactive and interesting, and I'm glad that to find out that everybody it's abreast with processes of internet governance. I'm sure now you know what to do and how to go about being involved in internet governance processes. In as much as we're going to discuss more information as the days go by, you've had some information. Please do join the internet societies of your respective countries. You can join the Global Internet Society, and then you select your chapter from there. All right, thank you very much, and it was a wonderful deliberation. All right, Fifi.
Hello. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Zainab, and thank you, Saba, for the contribution. I really appreciate the discussion today. It was very insightful. I think we need to dedicate the whole time for discussion, and I am very happy about it today. We are not ending the conversation here. We're going to continue on the e-learning and have a debate that, like, I'll put a question of the day on that. That may be fine. The private sector might think that the government should not charge them when they want to participate in these forums. And the government also saying, yeah, we need money to do that. So we need to justify all the various inclusion within the multi-stakeholder engagement. Thank you very much. There is no news here, but one thing is that the e-learning is designed that after the section, you have access to take your quiz. So, and one important information is that the quizzes and all the module access will end on 30th September. So even after the training, we're giving you 1 to 1.5 weeks to complete all the outstanding coursework. Then you will get a notification to submit a learning report after that, which will be in a different link submission. So thank you very much for joining today's section. And we can have a picture or I think so. So we can all turn on our camera. Then we have a very nice pictures in here from wherever that we are connecting from. Then we'll have a very wonderful picture today. Okay. Okay, all right. So smile, keep smiling because I'll be I'm getting those people who are smiling as part of like our online sharing. So keep smiling, keep smiling, keep smiling. Tato, I see your smile. That's good. Okay, keep smiling. Last one, keep smiling. Then I will just get it done. Okay. So last one. All right, thank you. I love the smile. So thank you very much for joining. We can keep discussing most of the you can put your whatever that you don't understand in the e-learning. People will comment under it. And thank you, Zainab and Saba, for a wonderful section
Okay,
today.
thank you so much, Fifi.
Yeah, until then, see you tomorrow. And thank you, Abia. Make sure that you rename yourself on the Zoom before you join. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.